we today? Welcome back into the greenhouse. I am your girl, Samantha Roxas, aka Sam, and I am your crazy plant collector in Melbourne. So today, I have such an exciting video that I've actually been wanting to do for a while now. If you've been watching my videos, you probably already know what this is, also by looking at the title. But I have finally found a home for all of my jewel orchids. So it is right down just here. It is huge. This is her. She is heavy. This is called a BioDome. This is actually made by Botanica Boutique. I actually purchased it from Miei Fiori, which is a beautiful florist. It's kind of like a plant hybrid shop in Melbourne, and they've just delivered it in such a beautiful way. So you can see that they've got their beautiful like ribbon on it with their name, Miei Fiori, and they're beautiful, like it came with all these beautiful flowers, and I just really like the way that they put it all together. So thank you very much for organizing this. I literally ordered it on a Friday night and they got it delivered to me on the Monday. So they are a charity based company, and which is one of the reasons why I really wanted to buy from them. So for now, I'm just going to put this down just because we'll do the unboxing of this in a second. I actually have so many goodies down here. I've got like all of these soils, I've got some clay balls, I've got some like little things that I want to put in the terrarium. So this whole thing is going to be me terrascaping my jewel orchids into the BioDome. So I thought I would start off with showing you guys all my plants if you haven't seen them already. So I've got a few jewel orchids. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 species, and I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to get some more. But let's start off with the OG terrarium that I made from a Kmart jar, and normally it has like a little cloche or like a little lid to put on top, but this was literally just a cookie jar, I believe. There is charcoal, some orchid bark, perlite, and sphagnum just on the top. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look amazing. I think that I got the layers pretty what even is that? But in here, I've got a few Macody's Patola, the one that looks like it has lightning, and they've kind of just budded. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Macody's Patola little bubbas in here, one big plant and a few little babies coming out everywhere. I have this beautiful Macody's Sanderiana, which I got from a friend Kate when we were at the Melbourne plant swap. I've also got this beautiful thing, which I'm not really sure of the idea of it. Nevertheless, I really love it. This is the one that I had unboxed just last week, and it has turned for the worse. The leaves are dying off, but as hopefully you can see there is new growth. So woohoo! Hopefully that one is going to stay alive, or it actually likes its new place in the BioDome. I've got this one here that was also shown in the last plant haul. I've also got this one beautiful thing that I got from Rick, which no joke is probably my favorite one, just because look at the color, look at the lightning, and look at the back. Gorgeous. And lastly, I've also got, that has a bit of sphagnum on it, this one here, which is a Lucidia discolor, and it's got 3 plants in here. So I'm pretty sure the BioDome is not big enough to put all 3 in it, but I'll probably split this up and put at least one of them in there. I'm not going to lie, like my last one when I was doing this terrarium here, I am winging it because Sam doesn't do terrariums very often, but I think this BioDome is going to look so sick. I know that the YouTube plant people that I watch have the Bio Orb. Unfortunately, I think that's like an American product, which I'm sure we could get here, but for a very expensive price. Therefore, I have found this BioDome, and I think it has a beautiful aesthetic in comparison to the Bio Orb. I should also show you, before we start opening the box, what I plan to put in it. So I'm going to put all of the jewel orchids. I think the sphagnum on top is going to be a good idea. I know that people like to put like the green moss in the terrarium, but I feel like the green takes away from the plant. So I'm actually going to keep the sphagnum moss just on the top. But my plan is, so I ordered this from a local terrarium slash reptile slash fish store. Got these like aquarium little pebbles here, and they're kind of like a charcoaly color with some like earthy tones. Like the grays and like the more neutral things will really bring out the colors of the jewel orchids. So I went for something like this. I also bought this like rock, which hopefully, I'm not sure if it is going to go in the middle or if it's going to go in the back, but I think that if I had a plant like the Macody's Patola like sitting next to it, I think it'll just look stunning. I really want the jewel orchids to stand out, which is my vision for this BioDome. This was kind of a last minute thing, I'm not gonna lie, but I have like these giant crystals sitting in my room, and I have this one just here, and I'm pretty sure this is just like a quartz, and I normally use it for like a book stand. It is pretty big, I'm not going to lie, but I think that if the BioDome is quite big, and I have jewel orchids with some crystals, I think that could look really cool as well. I didn't go for any colors because I do have, I believe, a amethyst and a blue crystal as well, but I really wanted the jewel orchids to stand out, so I thought like charcoal and whites would go quite nicely with it. So I've got those. So let's open this bad boy up. So I've been waiting a week to film this. I am so excited to do this. I'm also a bit nervous because I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out, but like last time, I'm just going to wing it. My god, this is so heavy. I've just popped you on top of the humidifier just so that you can kind of see how I open this bad boy. This is such a beautiful presented box. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's open her up. Such a beautiful aesthetic. I love this. I'm gonna try and put these in a little vase, and hopefully that'll help preserve them because I think that's very, very cute. I'm not sure if you can see there, but on the tag they actually say it's 100% profit for charity. So they're saving the world one child at a time. So I know that Botanica Boutique at the moment is pretty sold out on a lot of their products. You can get it from Miei Fiori, and the best part of it is that all of the profits go to charity. So it's a feels good purchase. There's a lot of other stockists as well that if you go onto their website, they have a list there. So feel free. I also know that if you are in Melbourne, my dear friends at Plantsmith, so Liz and Kate also have these beautiful BioDomes. I believe they have the color in charcoal, but I'd have to check. But I do have a different color. So let's stop talking and open her up. Da 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 da. Ooh. Okay, so this is just the glass bit and not the base. That can go there. You can go. Cool. So that is the dome itself. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit smaller than I had anticipated, and I don't feel like my huge crystal is going to fit. So I think that I'm just going to have that stone, that charcoaly gray stone in there. So I've unboxed the base as well, which is this beautiful marble thing here. This dish is actually a little bit superficial to what I thought it was going to be. So I can show you there. That is the dish. Dome sits on top like so. And that is quite a snug fit, and I think that's actually because of the cork. If the cork wasn't there, I'm pretty sure there would be a problem, but that's cool. And there's actually a hole right at the top as well, which is pretty good. That means that we don't have to ventilate the dome all the time. Let's get to it. If you guys have ever made a terrarium before, I should have reached out to you before this video, I'm not gonna lie, because your girl has no idea. I think the best thing that we can do is to prep up the base. I think I want a layer of something that's like almost like a filtering part, so if there is a lot of water, it can seep through. I think charcoal is really good in terms of neutralizing the acidity, so I'll definitely use that as a filter. And I'm going to actually use clay balls. I have no reason why I would like to choose clay balls. I just thought instead of pebbles, I think clay balls will be better because it'll at least retain some of the moisture. And yeah, so I'm just going to experiment. I cannot stress enough that you should definitely experiment with your plants. What works for me may be different for you, so please keep that in mind. I'm just going to put some clay balls at the bottom, I think, maybe with a bit of charcoal. I'm just grabbing my clay balls. Actually, I might even rinse out some of my clay balls. So I have my rinsed clay balls here. Would it have been better to do some really hot boiled water to sterilize these? Absolutely. Does Sam have time to do that? Unfortunately not. And I'm kind of hoping that these will be a humid slash filter instead of pebbles. Whoa, 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 they're falling everywhere. And I think I'm going to mix a bit of charcoal in there. This is so much fun. So this is what the current concoction looks like. There is my clay balls but with a little bit of charcoal in it. And now what I think I'm going to do is grab the sphagnum and layer it. Hopefully that they adjust really well. Try and not be wasteful, and I'm going to use the sphagnum that I have in here. So this is the plant that I just got there. It's actually got 2 growth points there, a new leaf coming through, and a root that is currently growing. So we're looking good. I think I'm actually going to remove the dead leaves because they are not beneficial to the plant any longer. I might keep this one because there's a little bit of green still, and I'll remove it afterwards. So I'm just putting the moss on top of the clay balls and the charcoal, and this is what the media that the jewel orchids will be living in. For all of my jewel orchids, I prefer them to be in sphagnum moss. Now, I do know that with sphagnum moss, it doesn't provide any nutrients for the plant, but I actually don't really mind because I will fertilize my jewel orchids anyway. So I'm just going to collect all this sphagnum and slowly start taking out all of my jewel orchids. I am finding this immensely therapeutic. So this is another one that I managed to get out. Look at those roots. They've actually gone long enough to go into like the charcoal bit as well as through the perlite. So those roots are looking very healthy. The Miei Fiori, she's got a lot of babies, so this is going to be very difficult to get her out. That is the mother plant just there, and I've got a few babies that are surrounding it. What I'm going to do is just leave it because I don't want to disturb it too much, but I'm actually going to get rid of 2 of the leaves because they've been dying for a very long time. So 1, 2, pruning that bad boy. Lastly, I've got this Sanderiana, which looks like it has so many pups. Not sure if you can see just in there. There's actually a lot of little pups in there, which is exciting. So I put some in there. That's the Sanderiana and the Miei Fiori in there. But I still have a few things to depot before I can start. I'm actually not going to fill it up fully with sphagnum just yet, just so that I can put the roots in and then fill in as I need. I'm gonna need my handy dandy little tub. Let's just undo her here. So that one there, super cute. There's substantial roots in there. And last but not least, I'm going to choose one. I think I'm going to choose this one because it's the smallest and I don't want it to take up too much space. Oh, I just realized this is one plant. I literally just snapped that one off the mother plant. It's looking pretty healthy. So that is going in the terrarium. I'm just going to get rid of some of the dirt. Okay, so I think we are ready to actually start the terrarium scaping. So let's get on to that. I'm going to dust off these hands. So now you're a little bit lower. You can actually see the base on the table. And so my idea is to have this in there, and then I honestly don't know how this is going to look. This is huge. This takes up like half of the dome. No, I mean, it fits the stone, but it significantly reduces the amount of planting space that I have. I'm just going to see how we go, guy. Close up in here because I think that will look beautiful. So that this guy is in the middle there. That looks kind of cool. All right, all right. And I'm going to try and work with levels as well. So this is what it's looking like so far with 3 of them in. So this is what it's currently looking like at the moment, and I think it actually looks super cool. The back, as I said, is looking a little bit bare, but I put all of the plants with different pups in the back because I know that 2 pups are going to come from this one right here. These 2 are currently growing independently from, so this one's not growing independently from the mother plant, but this one is. So I have a feeling that might actually get a lot bigger. And the Sanderiana has some little babies just there, so I'm hoping that they will also bush up the back. Okay, so before I go any further, I think I'm going to put the dome on top and see if it actually fits. Perfect. Guys, this is so cool. So I have these pebbles and I'm wondering, I think I kind of like the sphagnum. See, I think that these pebbles will look really cool if the base was clear and you could see all the layers and you have like these beautiful colored pebbles, but I feel like it would almost wreck it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the stones. I mean, they were only $5. Would it have looked cuter with this, I wonder, in it? Oh yeah, this would have looked so beautiful in it. In the back? Am I gonna change it again? Am I gonna hate myself for this? Maybe. So I'm not gonna lie, it has taken me several hours to do this, but she is finally done. She's looking sexy. This BioDome I am such a huge fan of. It is a little bit small for all the things that I've put in it, but that is totally my fault. After a little bit of shuffling and pulling out some sphagnum, I've actually managed to put the large quartz in there as well. It actually looks super cool with the marble at the bottom. I think it kind of ties everything in. Without it, I think the marble would have just looked a little bit funny. This is what she looks like. Isn't she amazing? I'm sure that you guys are getting a bit of a glare at the moment. So I'm just gonna take this puppy off really gently and I'll do a little bit of a 360 so you guys can see. So that is the front, just there. The side, and of course the back. I'll do a little bit of like a zoom in so you can see where all of them I've placed. I kind of had fun with it, trying to play with the levels and the different colors. If you guys are looking for a terrarium, or if you have never done one before but you're a little bit intimidated, trust me when I say that this is so much fun. It's a very good like creative outlet, because I was literally spending hours on being like, ooh, what if this was over here? Ooh, what if this was over here? And to be honest, I'm still kind of playing with it. Ooh, this angle. Ooh, I like that. Wow. That's amazing. I'm probably going to be like, Sam, why you do this? In a few weeks time or in a month's time, when everything is like, it's springtime, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of growth within this terrarium. At that point, I will probably have to take out the crystal, but until then, I'm going to keep it in there just so that it goes with the base. So that pretty much wraps up this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun with me trying to create this terrarium. If you guys are looking for something similar to the BioOrb, I think that this is a beautiful alternative. It is a little bit smaller, I do have to say, but I think that it is a lot more aesthetically pleasing than the BioOrb. I will do a video for like a review on it, as well as to show you guys the growth in a couple of weeks time, just to give you my thoughts and what's happened with the terrarium and how the jewel orchids are going in it. I will link everything that you need to know down below in case you are interested in getting a BioDome for yourself, and I'll catch you back in the greenhouse for next week's video. Bye guys! Mwah!